Hello, guys. Hello. A bit of a different video today, an unscripted one. Death Battle announced that they're doing Hulk versus Godzilla as their next episode. So I'm here with my good friend to give our thoughts and predictions on the matchup, and also just talk about Godzilla, because a lot of the discussion around this matchup is about one very particular version of the character, and we want to talk about some other versions. Of course, we're gonna discuss that one later. But anyway, how about you introduce yourself, my effeminate fellow?
Hi, you can call me Playa. I'm friends with Ghidorah guy. I've been friends with him for a while. I'd say I know Godzilla pretty well. I don't know if I'd rank my knowledge, but I put on like a 7. I think Ghidorah guy is like a 9 or a 10. Like, this guy can literally name the movie like a specific Godzilla is from just on the picture of like what suit they are in.
No, yeah, I'm
crazy.
bad.
I'm not.
Ask me the name of my firstborn child. I will not be able to tell you that. But show me an out concept clip from Godzilla vs. Gigan, and I can tell you the exact frame. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not that bad, but I'm pretty up there. I know a lot about his movies. I'd say I've seen most of his anime, read a lot of comics about Godzilla. I think we've done a pretty good job researching the character. I think a lot of people see this matchup between Godzilla and Hulk, and they think it's really one-sided, either one way or the other. And obviously, this video is going to be spoiler about why we think Godzilla wins. But I don't think, like he said earlier, a Ghidorah guy, I don't think that it's as one-sided, or even as like all or nothing as people say. I think that Godzilla has a lot of win cons, a lot of hacks, abilities, forms that give him multiple win cons or just edges over Hulk that a lot of people don't talk about or know. I mean, there's a lot of information, so
I mean,
yeah, it makes sense.
He is over 70 years old. When a character's been around for this long, you're gonna have a lot of media to come through.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone for not going through it all. We didn't even do all of it for this video.
we got like a good handful of stuff, but not everything. Plus,
yeah.
Probably miss a lot of it, just like naturally. So
I think we did a good job though. Like we've gotten pretty much everything from the Reiwa era plus Heisei.
Some Showa stuff,
like some other stuff too. Yeah, some Showa stuff too. So speaking
of course, we got the. First, let's talk about our feelings about the matchup itself. Personally, I see the connections, like Aradia monsters, Mankane and Suburus, all fine and dandy. That it's nice. I just don't particularly vibe with it because I just don't like Godzilla fighting smaller characters. I always think, even though he has fought smaller characters, and we'll get into that later, but choreographing that in like specifically 3D, because this episode is going to be in 3D, I feel like is very hard. And also, depending on how you composite Godzilla, it can go 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, honestly, on my end, like Godzilla's such a popular character. Like, he's longest running film franchise in the world, one of the most popular like characters ever, super iconic roar. His death battle is like with Gamera is like the 5th most viewed video on the Death Battle channel. Like, he's a really popular character, and obviously people are gonna love like putting up against other characters, debating like how strong he is, etc. I kind of wish that his return was like against Gamera again, or even like Ultraman. That would be my preferred matchup because
Ultraman is definitely my preferred
awesome.
Godzilla MU.
Yeah, Ultraman would be the best, honestly. But if that's, we got Hulk, which is fine. I don't dislike Hulk. Hulk's cool, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think the connections are strong enough, but I don't really vibe with like the matchup dynamic, or even just like the East versus West kind of thing. Like, we've done that before. I mean, the biggest one is Goku versus Superman. I don't really think we need to do it again. I also just don't really want more comic characters. Like, comic characters have had a lot of screen time. It'd be nice if we got an Ultraman versus Godzilla, or even like Godzilla versus, like, I've seen like some people do like Clover, like Shin versus Clover, or Shin versus like
Shin versus
Unicorn.
Clover is a very popular matchup. I do like that one.
Yeah,
spoiler,
I mean, those...
I'm not gonna do that as a video. I got a different one for him. But
yeah, I mean, it's not
the
my
other
favorite
popular Clover match. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue.
No, you're good. But yeah, it's not my favorite, but you know what? I mean, we take what we can get. We try not to complain. I will say though, the preview, which we should probably show on screen right now, it is really good. The animation looks great. I'm really happy that they're doing it justice. I was a little concerned. I love Devil Artemis, but he can be really inconsistent, for better or worse. So
you go from Friezatron to Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen real quick.
yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's a very talented animator, and I think he's going to do great. And when I heard that he's having a couple other people, like SXR, help him out with it, it really, like, gave me more confidence that the episode's going to be good. And even the preview that we have for Hulk, the production on just the analysis segment is really good. But, yeah, I mean, I think we should probably get to it. I don't want to waste any more time. So,
let's start off with...
Monsterverse, he's the easiest one because he's the most recent.
Yeah, he's most recent, probably one of the most recognizable versions of the character. American, obviously downgrade. He's not from Japan, so we aren't going to include him in this matchup.
Oh my god. Okay, but Monsterverse. So most people know about his feats of, like, I mean, most people have seen King of the Monsters. Most people have seen Godzilla versus Kong. So we won't really go over the semantics of his AP. Ultimately, most of this video is just going to be covering forms or abilities that Godzilla has that a lot of people don't speak on. Most, like, if you look at a lot of power scaling Godzilla videos, a lot of people focus on AP, specifically durability, and then maybe speed. And while those are obviously really important, we're just gonna focus on, like, the most fun stuff to talk about. But yes, I agree with, like, basically every scale where, like, people get him from anywhere from, like, at least planetary to, like, a dwarf star. I've seen people get him to, like, solar system with, like, the way the black holes work off of the scan with the hollow Earth, and I could see that too. I'm not really leaning one way or another, but some things that he can do, he absorbed a bunch of DNA into himself with Tiamat. He can absorb atmospheric radiation, and also just radiation, like, he can just breathe it in, so it's a ranged ability, which is really good. If he doesn't need to get close to someone. Like, if you look at a lot of other fights with the Ghidorah, like, Ghidorah's always biting into his shoulders or whatever to try and, like, absorb, like, Godzilla's power, but Godzilla can just kind of take it out of wherever, which is really good for his range. He has he can make an EMP. It's kind of ironic because, like, yeah, like, the Mutos were able to do EMPs on him, and it really hurt him bad.
They actively weakened him in 2014, but he's able to make his own EMP in GXK,
which is crazy.
Which also fucking went around the world's fucking circumference, by the way, for some fucking reason.
Yeah, he's correct. Do not sleep on Monsterverse. Obviously, he survived the Oxygen Destroyer, as do a lot of them, so that is a really great feat for his cellular regeneration. He has really good regeneration, although it's maybe not as on screen as other Godzillas. And then one other important thing is the evolved ray, the spiral, I think it's what it's called. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yes, the spiral. Yeah, essentially, in his evolved form, he has 20 times the energy capacity he had before. He's able to supercharge himself and use that to its full capacity using the Spiral Ray, which is an ability lifted from other Godzillas such as Final Wars and Heisei.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty.
He's also able to, on the DNA point, in his evolved form, he was able to change his molecular density because of fucking course he can. I, I don't know how he did that. I'm gonna be fully honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how he does this stuff too. I think
He can
that's
absorb
most of
his
it.
wife. He can absorb his
Yeah,
wife. Don't
he
forget
can do
about that.
too. I guess he technically ate a star. I mean, if you want to believe the cave paintings, I mean, the semantics of that are kind of weird. I mean, you could also say that's Space Godzilla, which is probably going to be the next villain. But at least he's comparable to it. He also survived Absolute Zero from Shimo, which is a pretty consistent thing. Godzilla's done that in the past against Kiryu's like canon, but like he's done it at least twice now, which is pretty cool. That's a really good feat. It freezes atoms,
Yeah.
I think.
And he's able to, like in case of a Kiryu Saga Goji, he was able to regenerate that. It did leave him scarred, but the fact that he could regenerate from from an ability
Absolute
that
Zero Cannon.
like destroys atoms is really fucking good.
And he does this pretty consistently. Like even when he's fighting against Shimo, he's able to like basically amplify his body's temperature and just break out of. Yeah, absolutely. He was completely like fine from Shimo. Also able to shoot as atomic breath, stop a storm that was gonna like do a planetary ice age. Kind of crazy how he can just kind of casually do that. But yeah, that's a lot of a lot of major Monsterverse stuff. We're forgetting one. We're forgetting the feat. So we already know about like the him surviving the dinosaur explosion. If you don't, we can talk about. We can show the scan of him surviving the meteor that hit the dinosaurs. We'll pull it up right now.
The permanent impact.
In that same comic, he fights this weird like parasite that survived as a single cell, and he's able to like kill this thing that survives as it like and it regenerates on a cellular level, which is crazy. So he has a lot of really great regeneration negation hacks. Like he can literally destroy things that are regenerating on a cellular level, like super small, and he does this a lot. And this is just Monsterverse doing it.
On a similar note, his atomic breath works on a quantum scale and can interact with black hole singularity-esque things like the Hollow Earth portals. And that is actually surprisingly consistent with Godzilla such as the one in versus Megaguirus, which was able to interact with a black hole, and he eventually survived it, getting shot out twice in the same movie. And also Godzilla Earth, who we will discuss later was able to destroy Heisei cells.
Yeah.
But
we'll get to
Earth
that one later too.
Yeah. But Heisei's not goddamn. Now I'm fucking it up. Earth was able to destroy Void Ghidorah's black holes. So his atomic breath can interact like space-time singularities pretty casually.
And again, this is all just one Godzilla. Like, there's so many more we're gonna cover. So to I guess get back to it. We'll talk about Shin now. Shin, pretty straight. Shin is cool. I think Shin gets shit on a lot in the power scaling community, and specifically Shin Godzilla, or just the Godzilla community. Yes, he is one of the weaker ones. We're not going to argue that he's one of the strongest. We're not going to be out here talk about how he's like the strongest.
We're not going to argue he beats Monsterverse. We're not fucking Goji Center. I'm sorry.
We're not like that. We're not going to say that he's like. We're not talking about the strap forms, although I'm assuming a lot of them are going to be brought out for a sequel. But in his own movie, he stated to have 8 times as much DNA as a human. He's the most evolved creature on the planet. And again, statement warrior. He's being a statement warrior. I know nothing really shown. But one really good feat that he has, and one most notable ability that he has, is his evolution. His evolution is stated to work on a level that humans can't really fully understand because of how complicated and evolved of a creature that he is. But there's a part in the movie where he's using his atomic breath. Americans are bombing him, and basically, like a minute or so later, he's able to learn from that and shoot his atomic breath directly at the bomber that attacked him, and then literally counteract further bombers from attacking him. So it is very much combat applicable. The only downside to Shin is that he has a limited stamina and limited energy resources, but that's really not going to be an issue for a Godzilla at all. There's a lot of Godzillas that have infinite energy, infinite stamina, or just kind of even surpass the limitations of that in general, and his body can just reactively adapt to it. Even just Monsterverse as alone should be able to like take that power of just the evolutionary potential from Shin and actively use it to defeat his opponents. Evolution and specifically his adaptation is going to be really overpowered for this specific Godzilla.
Right. He also has a fucking shitload of beams. You can shoot him out of his mouth, tail, back. I think it was counted. There was like 27 that shot out of his back in the later half of the movie. Yeah, that's going to be very important for later. So keep that in mind. His breath is...
Yeah, he can just shoot whatever beams out of his back or tail or... He's got a lot. He's like a bullet hell boss.
He literally is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of projectiles. Also, we change topic, we'll show a scan of a Dark Horse Godzilla basically having a shotgun breath, which is super weird. He can like separate his beam into 3 for some reason. So just he's got a lot of ranged options. So
he we're not even done yet with all his ranged shit.
No, not even close.
Moving on
talk about
GMK.
GMK
surprisingly brings a lot to this table.
He is way stronger than people. Yeah, he's way stronger than I think people realize. I think the most notable feat, and also like probably most popular, is that he's survived as a heart. Pretty damn good, actually. Not his best for generation feat or durability, but still really good. Surviving as just a heart. I think -1 also did this too. It's been referenced. If it's in the new Hulk, so not Hulk, Thor versus Godzilla comic, super good by the way. Yeah, Thor. Thank you. That one's he's able to survive as that. His regeneration is great. Super great energy absorption. He's able to absorb like spiritual rowdy beams that are being shot at him and then redirect it and fire it back at Ghidorah. Excuse me. He's basically no-selling every Guardian monster in that movie. He kind of has like a spidey sense. We'll show you a scan right now where he's getting attacked by like Mothra right behind him, I'm pretty sure. And like he kind of senses it happening.
Yeah, he senses her behind him. He whaps her.
Yeah, which is really weird. He can get powered up by the negative emotions like felt by other people, and I'm pretty sure the soul's inside of him, which is crazy. So any sort of like negative feelings, he's just amping him constantly. He's just that demon. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the other stuff he's got?
Which is very important for this matchup in particular, because Hulk gets stronger with how angry he gets. So not only is Godzilla going to be feeding on his gamma, but also his rage.
Yeah. Which is super unfortunate for Hulk
good
in
old
particular. Let's see what else. He's got really great reaction time and hands. Like people kind of forget about that, but he's got some great stuff. He's got a really good mushroom cloud feat. We'll put it up. We also have his soul. His soul is really weird. It's composed.
His souls.
Souls plural. Yeah. He's basically, he can absorb them into his self, so he can basically take other people's souls, absorb them into his own being, and then make himself stronger. He's composed of the souls of like countless dead like soldiers and I think like victims of like the World War II. And I think I forget what
the Pacific War, specifically the Pacific War.
Yeah, he's got a lot of soul shit.
I know this is like not even a WinCon people bring up for Hulk, which is surprising because I hear it quite a bit. Godzilla gets a spawn type soul buffer thanks to GMK. So even if you want to argue Hulk could just throw him through the green door into hell, which he could just get out of, and we discuss that when we get to the
Right.
funny comic one everyone likes, the
Oh,
Glaze.
or
But
even a certain
um,
other winter Godzilla.
oh yeah, yeah, motherfucker gonna get a little chilly then. But yeah, he gets like a soul buffer, so that wouldn't even be like that valid of a win con for Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. What's next? Who's up next?
Earth.
Oh,
Earth's
Earth.
next.
Oh boy, Earth. So Earth is, I think, I won't blame people for not knowing too much about Earth. His movies all suck.
Oh,
They're all
they're
really
fucking
bad.
dog shit.
They're all really bad. But he is also one of the strongest Godzillas. He uses electromagnetic pulses and a lot of electromagnetism, excuse me, to attack. So he's not only using radiation. He has a force field that goes down for I think like less than a 10,000th of a second. He's able to interact and damage like higher dimensional beings. He literally outpaced Void Ghidorah, which was like actively draining him. And even as like his strength was getting drained, he was still somehow more powerful in that moment as he was getting weakened than any other point in the entire like trilogy, which is ridiculous.
Keep in mind, Void Ghidorah is a higher dimensional entity, so he outpaced. Like I think he's like 5D, so like a 5D entity draining his energy.
Yeah, he
So
has on top of all that, he's part plant, which is crazy. He was able to terraform the planet. He has a bunch of these things called Godzilla Filiuses, which are just these little dragons that he can summon basically pretty casually.
Seraphim, they're called Seraphim. They're not.
Yeah, Seraphim. Oh,
Phyllises are the little gods, or the little guy. Seraphim
right,
is
right.
the little dragons.
I apologize. I don't know.
See,
I don't know
again,
Godzilla. I'm a
we
fake
haven't
fan.
watched
Fake fan.
the Earth the Earth trilogy in a
No,
while.
no, not in a long time. But trust us, our information is like accurate. He has this weird blade beam, like Getsuga Tensho, or if you want to say like Cloud, like from Final Fantasy. He can like slice his tail and do this weird attack, where he can like send a wave of energy at you. It like also just he has like multiple other ways of attacking you.
Godzilla's roar, the super auditory wave. I think I probably
I
fucking
think that's what
butchered
it is. Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Essentially, what it does is it vibrates thing. It's essentially just destroys things on a molecular level and also generates a whole fuck ton of heat, which is really good because spoiler alert, we looked around and Hulk cannot regenerate from getting destroyed on a molecular level. His
Yeah, Godzilla's got a
best
lot of ways of
regeneration
doing that.
feat is like when he was in like a bunch of jars, which ironically,
As far as we can tell.
yeah. Again, correct us if we're wrong. Like we're human. There's a lot of material. I'm sure there's one comic in like the 60s where Hulk regenerated from like a single like drop of blood or something like
Some
that.
Wolverine
Like that
shit.
probably.
But as
I know
yeah,
Wolverine's
as far
done
as we're
that, so I'm
aware,
sure Hulk has.
as far
So
as we're
we could be
aware,
wrong.
his
But
best stuff is just like organ feats.
yeah, which are good. Don't get me wrong, but
They are.
Godzilla, ironically, like GMK has a better showcase of that, surviving as just a heart instead of
Yeah.
being just like separated into a whole bunch of other shit. But anyway, back to Earth. His roar's a win con, if you want to say that.
Yeah, it is.
His atomic breath is another good regeneration negation feat is when he fought Gigan, which uses nanometal, I think is the term for it, and essentially that just super. I forget exactly how good of regeneration it is, but it's pretty fucking good. I throw up some scans here talking about it.
Scans.
So he can just negate that with his atomic breath. He can. He also has
form. Yeah, the red form.
Yeah, he has a Scarlet, where he releases like a bunch of heat in like a heat dome, and he was actively able to use. Originally, it was more of like a biological reaction to not like humans were trying to heat him up rapidly with like the spears that cause him to like, explode, but he used that to like disperse all the heat in like a heat dome. But when he was fighting Void Ghidorah, he was able to actively use it as a form. So that's some pretty impressive shit right there. And I think that's about it for Earth.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty good on Earth. I think another one, I guess we'll move straight on to, is Snow. Arguably the most obscure, or definitely up there, Godzilla is. He's really wacky, really weird. I won't blame people for also knowing this one. I think this one's probably the one that even I think even me and you were kind of surprised at. So he's in this movie, Shin Godzilla the movie. I'm not gonna pronounce the full title. I'm gonna butcher it. But essentially, his body is made of these things called light particles or glowing particles. And in the movie, you can see that he is able to teleport throughout them, like anywhere. The way that the white particles work is that they can essentially like transport you from different times and places, and like displace people from different timelines, going like either forward or backwards. So in the movie, he's fighting these two guys. We'll put up the scene right now. And he shoots his atomic breath at these like people. Not only does it like damage their suits, albeit like probably not that much, like these mech suits, it sends them, like one kid like erases his memories, and then he sends them to Evangelion. Like straight up Evangelion. There's an angel, Shinji's there, like it's so weird. And he could just do that, like for some reason. And then for his dad, which is in the movie, he sent that guy back in time so he became a kid, which is ridiculous. I don't even know how that really works. He didn't really explain it, but yeah, he can just send people back in time. He can send people in different moments in time. He can regress people's ages, I guess. He can eliminate your memory, which is a really, really good BFR, because like imagine you're fighting him and then he shoots at you. Not only can you probably not get back, you don't even remember what happened. Like you don't even know there was a fight going on.
And now you're stuck in fucking bumfuck Ava.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst part of the equation, to be honest there.
So a couple other things about Snow Godzilla. So he can obviously make a hurricane, or like not a hurricane, a blizzard. It's always engulfing him wherever he's going. His body also has a bunch of black particles. Black particles, if he touches you with them, they can basically turn you into a kaiju, which is super weird. He has these light particles are basically able to connect different dimensions. We'll put up the scan right now, but these dimensions are able to combine the past, present, and future, which is ridiculous, and within all of this time and space itself. So yeah, it's really weird. He can also just teleport freely, again, from any other dimension or timeline with whenever he wants. Like there's literally moments in the movie where he's just kind of like pulling up whenever he wants. Snow is crazy. Snow is super cracked.
The snow is fucking really bizarre.
Really, really, really wacky. Like it's all fun and games until you get shot by Godzilla's breath and he sends you to Evangelion, and you gotta until you're stuck at the third impact or something.
It's all fun and games until you find Godzilla, and then you get turned into orange juice. All right, before we move on to the strongest film incarnation of the character, I want to give a small shout out to Pipeworks Godzilla for his very strange energy absorption feats. In the Godzilla Pipeworks trilogy, specifically Unleash, there are these crystals that contain multiple different elements, and when you destroy them or defeat like the kaiju that is if you destroy the crystals.
Yeah, I haven't played Unleashed when you destroy them. No, I remember. You have to beat them up and you break them.
Right. You gain that element within your kit, and you're able to use it to actively buff yourself as well as just disperse it in like a AoE type move, or
Shockwave,
in case
yeah.
of the like the fire one, it's like a little red beam. So given that, this would mean he's able to absorb fire, electricity, radiation, of course, and darkness, and as well as incorporate like metallic alloys within his body to increase his durability,
Jesus Christ.
as well as just straight up damage negation with the crystal, like the purple one, which I believe is 85%. I'll throw that up on screen.
Yeah, we'll be putting
He can
sources
boof
for all
it.
this.
He can buff his speed. Very interestingly enough, the radiation from these crystals, when they're emitted, can also impair other monsters' regeneration, which are comparable to Godzilla himself. Which, if he needed any more regeneration negation, he can just actively impair his opponents passively, and combine that with the one who should not be named, who's
We'll get
Red Dust
to.
can. We get to him. We gotta have you eat your vegetables before we get to dessert here. But his Red Dust can lower a opponent's durability as well.
I think it's
So
like by
you
20%.
I think it's like 25. Is 0 20%? No, it's 35%.
Okay, we were both wrong. We'll throw it up on screen right now.
All right. Now.
All right, here's the big one. Well, not the big one that people want to hear, but we'll talk about Heisei.
One of the penultimate big ones. Heisei Goji,
Probably
the strongest film incarnation.
Yeah, probably most commonly scaled, especially by Goji Chronic, which we watched quite a bit.
Shout out
He's pretty cool.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters too. He's a real good.
He's goated.
Source when it comes to Heisei stuff. Crazy hacks include he's a time paradox. He's able to break through magical seals with sheer willpower. His cells, he can regenerate from not only just a single cell, those cells can survive going to black holes, coming out white holes, absorbing multiple supernovas, and also adapted to use a higher dimensional gravity, which at bare minimum works on a fifth dimensional framework due to the Godzilla cosmology being around 4D thanks to Zone Fighter. So his cells can just adapt to the higher dimensional energy sources. Just
keep that in mind, because this is a comp. So if he can do this in Ava, and also Monsterverse can basically incorporate DNA and higher energy, and definitely with Shin, he's starting to become a monster. Like, even if you want to say he can't, I don't know, he doesn't have traditionally a power source that's powerful enough to harm Hulk. Okay, let's just say that he taps into directly the magic gamma that Hulk uses. He can just pull from that directly, or really any other equivalent, just by his cells literally doing their thing, passively. His cells are ridiculous. They have so many feats. We won't get into all of them. Again, this is a very brief summary, but he's got Digimon core destruction feats with his cells.
Yeah, that side note. No, we should bring that up in the recent Digimon crossover. His cells are able to take over Digimon cores, which I'm pretty sure are just their souls.
It's
fucking crazy.
Super complicated. Yeah. We'll throw up a couple scans right now. I'm not the best on Digimon, but I know that him taking over the cores is a crazy feat. His cells are super resistant. They're super durable. They can survive obviously black holes, like he just mentioned. Do not sleep on Heisei. We should probably talk about his main thing. His main thing that is gonna be
I need to build up to his best form. Heisei's Godzilla's atomic breath also emits a magnetic field when it's fired, which is extremely absurd, as well as the spiral way, including electricity in it. I'm pretty sure Godzilla can also just shoot electricity and then incorporate it into his beam anyway, which I've shown up a scan there. But let's talk about Godzilla's forms. Real quick about his forms. Before I go on to the main one, special shout out to Super Godzilla, who gives some multiple
Hell yeah.
unique moves. And I know Death Val's probably not even gonna mention Super, but I am because I'm goated,
No.
and I appreciate Super Godzilla. So I just throw up some
Shout out to
scenes.
Super Godzilla being the only canonical, I guess, instance of bagging ever.
He's in Godzilla. If you want, we are not talking about Godzilla.
I get, yeah.
We didn't dive into that. There's probably some shit in there we should look at.
No, same. Even fucking Chibi. I don't even know.
Chibi Godzilla, aka
Chibi's
the best
got, like,
Godzilla
500.
anime. Fight me on that.
True. Has a 500,000 degree Celsius breath base at base, which is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's the same.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure Heisei's can also get up to 1,000,000, which I throw up here if we can.
Jesus Christ.
Because
Scan.
But speaking of turning up the heat, great transition, by the way. Let's talk about Burning Godzilla and his most powerful move, the Infinite Spiral Heat Ray. Essentially, every time this beam is fired, it stacks infinitely in power and infinitely in heat, essentially until Godzilla melts down and dies. So, until that happens, he's just gonna be infinitely upon infinitely getting stronger and hotter. Which, the fact that he didn't destroy the planet in the movie is really impressive. Destroyer gotta be one tanky ass motherfucker.
And keep in yeah, and he's like, the only reason he didn't die is, or the only reason he did die is because his body couldn't handle it. But for a Godzilla who's having like the power of like the body durability of like hell at least, or other Godzillas that have absorbed like really powerful sources of energy, like it's really not gonna matter. Him melting down is gonna be very rare. And even if you want to say that hell isn't that strong, you can still argue that his body could just evolve, like for, I don't know, Monsterverse or Shin, where he evolves to a point where his body can take it, like physically able to take it. So he's not really gonna melt down, unless, I guess. And
even if he did,
he wants to.
Even if he did, he could just possess shit. Soul, he has possession. He possessed a baby once.
Yeah.
He also removed the soul of said baby.
Put up a fucking scan of that.
It's very I read the issue.
Weird.
I read the manga
so
where he
weird.
possessed the baby. That's a real thing. And I'm not making that up.
Yeah, it's weird. But okay, so why are we putting so much emphasis on burning? Burning is really important because up until this point, even if the biggest argument for Hulk is that he's stronger, right? His stats are really strong. He's got busted stats. Everyone brings up that he's outerversal, high outerversal, maybe even like.
I wouldn't say boundless. I'm not saying anyone put Hulk at boundless.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying I'm sure there's people out there who have, but And a lot of people say like, well, Godzilla just has a lot of hacks. He lacks in stats, and he doesn't have that. He doesn't really have like the ability to close the gap, which is kind of ironic because we're not even talking about stats. Which his stats are very good. Trust us, they are like comparable.
Trust me, when we get to comics,
it's contentious as to who's stronger, but I'll lean towards Hulk. Regardless of that fact, Hulk obviously has infinite. His strength doesn't know any limits. We know about that. He can probably get infinitely stronger. I think that's pretty easy to argue. The matter he gets, the stronger he gets. So that's cool. We're not arguing that. What we are arguing is that due to the fact that Heisei's beam spiral ray constantly gets stronger, the higher and hotter, the more and more he does it, infinitely on top of each other. It doesn't really matter how strong he is, like just his punches, his breath, which is the thing he's going to be using like most often to do damage, is going to get infinitely upon infinitely, like layering over and over and over until he just decides to stop or until he wins stronger. So no matter what tier you get him in, he's going to be infinitely over and over and over and over and over shooting beams that powerful. So if you want to say he's like, I don't know, hyperversal, which is really common for like the most powerful Godzilla, or outer, or whatever, or maybe 5D or whatever, he's going to get constantly stronger and stronger and stronger beams of at least that tier at bare minimum, without his cells adapting to access higher energies or adapting to hit you stronger, or even using any other higher tier Godzillas.
Also, keep in mind,
which we haven't even gotten to.
just going off with the ones we have covered so far, he's gonna be shooting this beam out of his tail and back multiple times,
and he can slice this energy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous. Also, quick side note, we'll talk about Gemstone real quick. While it's contentious whether or not Gemstone is still in the verse, at least he's like,
in terms of Heisei, like if he's like
directly a part of like Heisei, we can still bring up the fact that he has that amp form, the white one, and even if you don't even want to talk about that, Gemstone is able to use the his atomic breath and power to amplify his punches and kicks. Like in the short film, we'll throw up a scan, or like not even a scan, just this feat of him doing.
Like he does like the Megalon drop
he's
kick.
Able to, yeah, he does it that stronger. So even if you say like his normal punches aren't that strong,
you can amp him with his atomic energy.
Infinite power.
Also, shout out to Heisei being able to tank his own atomic breath reflected back at him like 200 times over, thanks to like the Super X2 and Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, he's done it a lot.
He's oddly consistent.
Okay. Which one do we talk about next?
We got Showa now.
Right.
Showa doesn't.
I'll let you
no,
do
Showa is very simple. He knows martial arts. He's a skilled combatant. He doesn't have too many hacks, but he has some very wacky abilities. He can fly. He got the drop kick. He can dance. He can breathe in space. He can absorb He can absorb lightning, which again, Kiryu Saga Goji can do that too. He can absorb lightning and also use that. Somehow, he used getting struck by lightning to turn himself into a giant magnet, because he just needed to in that instance. He just did it.
Yeah, Showa's weird. Funny thing is that Showa's actually not the only Godzilla with hands. I mean, obviously, I think most people know that Monsterverse got some hands. He's able out here suplexing Kong. But Final Wars.
Yo, we love Final Wars. My personal favorite incarnation of the character.
Not only one of the best stamina feats in the entire, Godzilla history, he's fighting basically his entire verse in a day. Not only surviving being frozen in ice for however long, also surviving a basically planet-busting meteor. Yes, it is planet-busting. They literally treat it as a threat. A lot of people like to downplay it. No, it is still going to destroy the planet. Otherwise, Godzilla wouldn't have destroyed Gorath.
And even if you want to argue, it's Monster X. Monster X still has planet-busting power anyway, so...
Yeah. So he
again,
survived that point blank. Really great hands. Super great hands.
Bro killed himself. He killed 98. For the best scene in any Godzilla media. With the best soundtrack.
True.
Also, I should have brought this up. Heisei verbatim has infinite stamina as well, so there immediately goes out the only drawback of Shin.
Yup. Also, really cool thing about specifically Final Wars, Godzilla has so much energy manipulation
absorption.
And absorption. He literally absorbed a bunch of Kaiser energy. Kaiser energy is a bunch of mutant energy. It basically gives you like enhanced reflexes, enhanced like senses.
Some level of telekinesis. The MC of Final Wars,
it gives you telekinesis.
Was able to pull what Neo did at the end of the Matrix. And Godzilla was able to
stop a bunch of laser beams.
Godzilla was able to absorb an infinite amount of this energy. Now, I'm just gonna say this before anyone gets on my ass. No, I'm never gonna put Final Wars at uni because he absorbed infinite energy.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
That one
That's dumb. I love Final Wars. I wish he was Uni,
Me too.
but he's not.
Me too.
He's still the GOAT
No.
though.
But he is the GOAT, and he was able to use that beam to pretty much eviscerate like Kaiser Ghidorah. I mean, the explosions are really powerful. I don't think we're gonna calc them because it's just a prediction video. But for a comic Godzilla video, I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Again, look back at my after video. Now imagine that, but it's
We're thorough.
not only more thorough, but also probably longer than half of the actual fucking Godzilla movies. Because there's a lot of media that I would want to talk about.
There's a lot.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, we're barely scratching the surface here, honestly. We should probably talk about -1.
Yeah, -1. Great movie. Go watch Don't
Really
listen
cool.
to us dumbasses talk
Go
about
ahead, movie.
-1. Go watch -1. Won an Oscar for a fucking reason.
Just
Go watch that shit. But very interesting statement is that the director confirmed that Noriko,
Koichi's girl.
Koichi's girlfriend, she actually died when Godzilla fired his atomic breath in Ginza, but due to his cells, she got resurrected, which would also apply to Godzilla himself, because obviously he's composed of his cells. Another impressive feat of Minus is as a probably small building level dinosaur, he was able to survive a point-blank nuclear bomb, and due to his impressive, he was regenerating as he was actively getting like eviscerated by that blast.
Yeah, his regeneration's really good. It's very active.
Extremely, scarily so.
We're gonna quickly skim over a couple of comic books.
Also, shout out to
I'll bring up a. Go ahead.
the Random House Godzilla, who can regenerate in fucking microseconds. Shout him.
So we're gonna quickly talk about a couple Godzilla comic books. There's so many of these. He's been around for a long time, so we're not gonna cover all of them. Obviously, a lot of people know about the stuff he's been doing in Marvel, and they're probably pretty good on the fact that he knocked out Superman. He almost killed him. But I don't think people know as much about his other stuffs. We'll talk about a certain Doomslayer dude who got sent to hell later.
We'll save him for last on this little comic section.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about one of my favorites, Rage Across Time. So Rage Across Time has a lot of really great feats. One of the easiest ones to go off is that he basically survived the Earth, the dinosaur explosion. Kaiser Ghidorah was coming over to the planet. These aliens were coming to terraform it. And during the panels, you can see Kaiser Ghidorah basically like destroying mountains. Tectonic plates are shifting. There's like lava everywhere. As all this is happening, Godzilla pretty easily survives this. He basically bursts out from a tectonic plate, like falling on his face. Later on, earlier in the run, he fights against Orochi, which is a god. He basically no-sells it. He's also famous for basically soloing the entire Greek pantheon. He no-diffs like Poseidon and Ares. Like Ares gets fucking destroyed. The Hydra dies, destroys the Mount of Olympus, and here's the big one that some people know. He fights Zeus. So he actually loses this fight. He does not beat Zeus. He does able to tag him and hurt him a bit. But Zeus, using all of his power, he basically vanquishes Godzilla. And then after a while, he moves from his from Olympus and goes far, far away, basically to where Pompeii happens. And as that happens, Godzilla should be dead, right? But as the comic ends, you see that it's still the same one. Literally, the scientists who are telling the story confirm that it's not a different species. It's the exact same Godzilla. So how did he survive? Well, word of God statement, where yes, we're going to be using author statements because it's the only way this makes sense, at least in my opinion. His soul, his essence, everything was destroyed. Everything about him was completely gone in that scenario, in that instant. But he was able to like follow Zeus in that scenario, and then find him, and then reemerge. Basically, the author said that this was because Godzilla's pure energy, similar to like a being like Galactus. So as long as that energy is still around, he's still gonna be able to reform and come back and like kind of haunt Zeus. And even if you don't like want to believe that like Godzilla did this, we'll put up all the scans right now. It's kind of hard to like argue how he even did that. Like,
he just
I don't know how
okay, so he
disappears
and he just
would say,
pops back
like,
up again.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes any more sense. Like, it's still ridiculous to hear, sure, but it doesn't really make much sense.
The best I could argue
any
against
sense,
it is be like, oh, it's like conceptual erasure, like resistances, but he pops up somewhere completely different. It's very weird, and that's why.
Yeah, it's real weird. But yeah, I mean the best, from what I understand, is the best comparison to this is basically like Galactus. Like he's just being a pure energy, and that's just one form. It's just
This isn't even this isn't even the one who would attribute this aspect to either. Ooh.
No, it's not. It's
not.
We're
not even on to that one yet.
Just this one Godzilla can survive that. So this Godzilla can specifically survive complete atom destruction, complete soul destruction, no any spiritual or physical existence just is gone. And even as all that is destroyed, Godzilla still survives because he's perpetual energy, which is ridiculous. Again, we'll put up the screen right now. I basically said it word for word. Rivals Godzilla later on. His cells feed off radiation. He's able to absorb cosmic radiation from the sun and accelerate his cellular growth. So he can just do that, which is pretty crazy.
Also, side note, I should have brought this up earlier with his energy absorption. Comparing it to Hulk's again, with Gamma mutants, they have to actively convert the energy source that they're absorbing from into gamma radiation. Granted, they're able to absorb a lot, but the thing is they have to actively like convert it. And yes, Godzilla can do a similar process biologically, converting elements and things into radiation he can absorb, but also Godzilla can just absorb the raw energy of it, such as the cosmic radiation, Ghidorah's gravity beams, the Kaiser energy, just multiple different energy types without needing to convert it into the standard radiation he's used to consuming. And also, Hulk needs to actively like grapple with the person he wants to absorb energy with. Well, again, back with like Monsterverse and stuff, he can
Godzilla can
do it from range and up to like the atmosphere and shit. From like that wide of range, which when you have two people who where the main a lot of the debate is who's going to be feeding off of each other more, since they can both absorb radiation. And I'm going to argue Hulk can absorb Godzilla's radiation. He can, but it's just that Godzilla can do it without converting and also from longer range, which is why I would lean towards Godzilla in that regard.
Same here. As most recent stuff that battle definitely won't want to use, but we're just going to bring it up anyways. Heisei, the most recent Godzilla from IDW. This guy has infinite Heisei energy. While it's still unknown as to what this does, we do know that Heisei energy and just the arrival of a specific Heisei monster was able to pretty much destroy the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. He's able that area that was destroyed was so irradiated that it literally was mutating people and monsters into monsters and regular wildlife and stuff. So his radiation is ridiculously potent. He also can just casually create tornadoes and hurricanes. Same Godzilla, just by walking around. Again, similar to the Snow Godzilla feat. He also has a rage boost. He's able to do this in a couple other scenarios, specifically Marvel, and I think Dark Horse.
Yeah, Dark Horse has one
feat right now where he has the rage boost. In another IDW one by Matt Frank. What was it called? Save the Earth, I think.
Yeah, no, Rulers of Earth. Also in the Godzilla
Yeah,
ongoing
Rulers of
series.
Earth. In Rulers of Earth, he's able to take someone else's energy from himself. Does that make sense?
No,
Right?
he's able to take other kaiju's life energy to amp himself.
Right. So he can just take life energy for some reason. Granted, he nearly dies, but like, you know, this is a Godzilla, so it really won't matter that much. Also, crazy thing about a Heisei Godzilla, his brain is ridiculously complicated, and this is actually surprisingly consistent across a couple different incarnations, where Godzilla's brain just can't be read. We'll pull up a couple different scans right now, where it's just that complex or it's that vast. Professor X couldn't do it. A lady in the Heisei novel couldn't do it. There's a little movie scan of it. He also fought Cthulhu.
Yep, we took a full.
Not many people know that.
Took a
But
full
the author
face
confirmed
blast.
It was a full. Yeah, from Cthulhu, his entire, like, all these Godzilla monsters that he's fought before, he's tanking that straight to the face. A full power Cthulhu, mind you. The author did confirm this. This Cthulhu was also confirmed to be a being outside of time and space. At bare minimum, putting him at 4D. Of course, like the way that the game that this is. By the way, this is a tie-in comic to a board game. But if you want to be generous or like I guess wank him, you could say he scales to the rest of the Elder Gods in the game, which is technically true because. He's a fundamental part of the game. Like, he's an added DLC, so he's always going to be able to fight and defeat whatever Elder God is summoned, whether that's Azathoth, Cthulhu, etc. A bunch of other developed one, like just one-off ones original to that game. Also noteworthy, whenever he loses in the game itself, he doesn't die. He just retreats. We'll put up a bunch of scans of that too.
I wish I could play this game.
We won't talk about. I know it's really expensive, and also the comic itself is really expensive. So the scans that we're gonna put up.
Also,
yeah, it's a little weird.
Not
There's
not
not
the
that
best
many
quality.
of them, but we. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be the best quality, but they do exist, and we'll put them up right now. Kind of funny also that he killed Cthulhu so hard he hit him in the T-pose, and he was able to absorb Atom Smasher energy, which was supposed to harm Cthulhu. It didn't do any damage to Cthulhu, but Godzilla took it. He was hurt real bad, then regenerated pretty much instantly, and then aimed all that energy at Cthulhu and was able to defeat him. We'll skip over Marvel and DC stuff, at least for right now. We'll talk about Power Rangers, and then we'll get onto Hell. Hell's obviously the one people know the most. Okay, so Power Rangers. Power Rangers, he crossed over with it. This is the Boom Power Rangers crossing over with the IDW Godzilla. So all of the Morphing Grid feats are actually canon and valid to use for this. I mean, it's a pretty big, important part of the story itself.
Right,
like the multiversal
the fact that they share
the
cosmology is a
grid.
core aspect to the crossover.
Yeah, it is. It's not. This is not just something that we're just saying. Like, this is literally important.
The
like,
the
to the
plot
story.
of the
Godzilla's
crossover hinges on this fact.
crossover. We have Godzilla completely bullying a bunch of monsters. He's able to be amped with literally a mech, like one of the I think it's
Dragon
Dragon
Sword, yeah.
like attaches to him, which is really funny.
You know, another mental
he's
feat.
also able to like bully the Power Rangers and then. Yeah, he's got a lot.
Another mental feat is Rita Repulsa can mind control him with her magic. So
That's
yeah.
true. This comic confirms that the IDW Godzilla comics and the movies are in the same universe. So not only does the Power Rangers crossover have Godzilla cosmology, the movie cosmology, and also the Power Rangers ones, that all stacks up to the IDW verse. Not the brand. We're not talking about that. We're not saying that it's the entire thing.
Like the weird little megaverse they got.
Just Godzilla fragment. Yeah, we're not
the
talking about that.
every
but
Godzilla
just the Godzilla portions.
The Godzilla side of the the IDW Godzilla multiverse specifically. Should we
So
bring
I mean,
up
I guess while we're on the topic,
the
yeah,
not
we'll talk about hell.
not yet. We have to bring up the best feat from the
Oh,
Power
okay.
Rangers.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
you know exactly
Oh,
what it is.
yeah. So there's a part in the book where like the Power Rangers like need help from like Godzilla kaiju, and they're like, oh, we need to call upon these other monsters so that way they can help us out. And one of the Rangers, like they're calling upon like Rodan and Mothra and like Destroyer and stuff, and then one of them is like called upon Anguirus, and during this fight, they're like using their power and they're really strong, and it's really amping these rangers to beat up the bad guys. And one of the rangers is like, I can barely contain it, and he has like the power of Anguirus. He's like, I can barely contain the power of Anguirus, which is really funny considering like he's a really weak kaiju. Like historically, it's like
I think
I can barely contain the power of Megumi.
I think Ingears is hitting the 2025 fucking tripod levels of numbers with his win-loss ratio.
Oh yeah, it's real, it's real
He
bad.
won against Destroyer in one of the comics, though. Yeah, that's big dubs.
I think so. Do you want to talk about Hell?
Yeah, sure. All right, Godzilla in Hell, the big boy. If you're familiar with any
The most
Godzilla,
overrated.
he is overrated.
Yeah, the
as
most
shit.
overrated and also overrated and also misunderstood in Godzilla.
And if
like,
you're
especially,
if you're in any power scaling circles, you've 100% heard of this version of the character, and you either got told he could do a whole bunch of shit he can't, or told a whole bunch of shit that he can do, but they lowballed the shit out of him. Essentially,
right?
just getting down to basics. Godzilla in Hell killed the God Mount. This God Mount views the entirety of the Godzilla cosmology, including, again, branching to thanks to the Power Ranger crossovers, all the morphing grid shit, and the movie cosmology,
and
all,
movies,
and all of that, and even like some in other comics, like movie characters do show up, so not just significant, solidifying the fact that they share a cosmology. He is the curator of all of that, and he is the Godzilla god, essentially. And Godzilla kills him, which would make him outer, like, pretty blatantly. Specifically thanks to the morphing grid. I wouldn't say he's been outer for a while. It's only because of that.
No.
I would say he's outer. But thanks to how the Power Rangers cosmology stuff works, and the fact that they share cosmology now, that extends to everything else, that would make Hell outer. Hell...
there's even...
Oh, continue.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll let you talk.
No, Hell has also multiple forms. He actually kept the God amp that the God gave him. So he kept that. And he gained some other powers like creation and shit with that. He's also able to, either through some type of possession or cell shenanigery, because we know Godzilla cells are fucking OD as shit, able to possess and take over a bunch of Hellbats to form a new body for himself that killed Satan, which previously actually got rid of his atomic breath. This Godzilla has also just straight up survived having entire portions of Hell just erased on top of him. Hell is in this is the Godzilla you're gonna get all your good stats from, who's not the other one. Every layer of Hell is infinite.
Or Marvel.
No, Marvel's up there too. But every layer in Hell is infinite. Godzilla can travel these in a finite amount of time. Infinite speed, obviously. You could probably, I forget if there's an immeasurable argument, but I say the measurable for the one that's immeasurable. But this is the Godzilla you're gonna get for like for the Avatar. Your best stats for like
Even if you don't want to like bring up all the most contested feats, there's still a lot of good stuff that Hell just is able to pretty easily perform, resisting the will of God, resisting the devil's will, also able to take down a other weird zombie version of himself, also able to destroy a planet pretty casually in a fight. Also, his cells, Space Godzilla was able to destroy, absorb demonic energy. So, like, you can make an argument for Godzilla being able to absorb, like, holy godlike energy
and demonic
and also
energy
demonic
as
demon
well.
energy.
He has his
So, you
own
know,
version of
there's
the
a lot.
Green Door with the red gate that he escaped into the
Mm-hmm.
escaped out of hell
Well,
with,
he was able to walk out
and
of
he
it.
and he has full access to that by the end of his story as well. So
He's also able to literally break open just a layer of hell. I mean, granted, he did do it with help, so we're not gonna deny that. But he also was fighting those other characters, specifically Ghidorah and Destroyer, two of his strongest opponents, for like an extended amount of time. And it's definitely arguable that he was able to do this later. And keep in mind, he's able to do all this with these like either it's God beams, Satan beams, whole body beam that he's able to shoot and kill Satan with, or Shumagura, or whatever that Cthulhu Elder God equivalent you want to say is. And he's able to do it out of his entire body, or either his tail, or his
back,
his dorsal fins, or his mouth,
his nostrils. So he
like,
can shoot him out of his nostrils because fuck you.
Yes, thanks to Chibi.
Thanks Chibi and
or eyeballs
or
with
Hanna-Barbera both can do that.
Hanna-Barbera. But yeah, that's the bulk of Hell. We're not gonna say that he's the strongest Godzilla. I do think he's outer. I think is a very good argument you can make for that. I don't think he is like. Is he a statement warrior? Does he rely a lot about on statements?
He does,
yes, absolutely.
and it sucks. I wish he didn't.
It does suck. Yeah, I wish he didn't as well. But the thing about this Godzilla comics, and a lot of Godzilla comics, Rage Across Time included, the older ones don't really have that much of a story, and it's when it's just literally Godzilla and he's just doing his thing. Even if you look at like where he's like his anniversary one that came out last year, there really wasn't too much story in one of them. I know for a fact there's one that's just kind of like a silent novel. So when you kind of do that, you have to rely on outside sources or authors to really like bridge the gap, to bring the context that isn't present. So unless it's contradicted by the source material, I think at least for us, we're gonna use it.
Yeah, and that's how you should always treat author statements. If the source material, when you scale a character, the source material always takes priority over any author statements. At least that's how I view it.
Absolutely.
You're not scaling what the author said about the character. You're scaling what the character did. That's always how I view the author statements.
But just with new context.
Yes.
Yep.
Context is always important. And with that, I think it's a good segue to talk about the Godzilla that literally fucking destroys context. All right. Time to rip off the Band-Aid. We're talking about Ultima. Yay.
Yay.
Where do we begin?
So we'll just say straight up, I think it's good to say Ultima, at least in our opinion, is the strongest version of Godzilla ever. Is it possible that there's future ones that could be stronger? Yes, of course.
And there's always the chance.
There's abilities.
There's always the chance there's some fuck off mobile game, magical gotcha game that Godzilla had a crossover with that lasted for 1 weekend on the summer of 2025, and like that gets him to like extraversal or some shit. There's probably one.
I mean, we do know that he crossed over with Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, that's true. There's a Gurren Lagann game he crossed over with.
And Magic the Gathering.
He has a lot of crossovers.
Yeah, kinda.
But
he's got a lot of crossovers.
But the main shit, Ulti, should be the strongest one, unless you want to argue the God Mountain's above it, and truthful above
which we wouldn't. Anyways, so. Why is Ultima hyped up so much? Why is he this, or it specifically, this super powerful trump card that people bring up? Well, I mean, we agree that he's basically a trump card. He's not the only win con, but I think he's like the most definitive one. Definitive one, yeah, absolutely. He's while other Godzillas are much less complex, this one is arguably the most detailed and probably versatile Godzilla that has ever been made. It was literally made by like a physics teacher, so they got some wacky
He got some
things that it can
fucking
do.
whack ass shit.
I think we probably should start with the avatars, honestly, because it's the easiest to understand.
Right. Essentially, the big cosmic true form, controls all of these avatars, and every kaiju we see in Singular Point is an avatar of it, being Godzilla,
including the stuff that is not Godzilla.
Right, Godzilla, yeah. Amanda, and Gearus. All of this stuff. Rodan. So that should all be in Godzilla's kit too. So you got the Servum. Heisei also has his little bug guys I forgot to bring up. And you got all the Singular Point kaiju. All of these should be in Godzilla's kit because they're avatars of it. And they gain.
Yo, that was kind of.
I'm spitting. They gain a lot of benefits from it. It is a very smart, borderline, omniscient.
I mean, you could just say.
I would argue omniscient. Word of God, omniscient, but
even in just within the story and show, you could say close to it.
A branch off of it, known as Shiva, is a higher dimensional super calculator. It makes higher dimensional calculations, and it was made so that we could understand this entity better. And it's like, this is like a fragment of how smart it is, because it's just a branch off of it. And Shiva cannot fully comprehend it. It can't fully understand the archetype, which is what all the fucking red dust around Godzilla is. It cannot fully understand that.
So you might be wondering, like, okay, well, how the heck is Shiva, this supercomputer, and it related, and what the heck is an archetype? So they're all related to these, like, singularities, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, singular points.
The singular points, right. And these singular points are basically, like, fundamental aspects of, like, a universe, or every universe. They exist. They're above basically a bunch of infinite universes. We'll show up a scan right now. It basically dreams up its own cosmology. So whenever an avatar is placed into that universe, obviously it is going to be like possessing that avatar, whatever. That's either Godzilla Ultima or all of his other cronies or whatever. And Shiva was basically just tapping into one of the singular points, one of the archetypes. I'm pretty sure. I could be butchering this. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure it was using a singular point to power it. But again, it can't fully understand archetype. Out of the 13 phases of archetype, I'm pretty sure it only understood like 3 of them. Which, holy shit. That's not a lot.
Yeah.
So essentially, at worst, for intelligence, it's a fucking supercomputer. Those things are ridiculous.
That's not a normal supercomputer.
It's a higher dimensional calculator, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Like, able to trying to predict a future type B, like access like different universes type B to just understand this cosmic horror. Like, that's how smart this thing is, and it's still not fully able to understand what it is.
As for
I guess another easy.
Go on.
We probably should talk about like his easier hacks to understand.
You know, just like space
regeneration.
Yeah, I can talk about
some people.
The regeneration.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
We know he can regenerate from a cell, but did you know?
Within the Godzilla singular point cosmology, it created a higher dimensional information network, and it scales above things that are in that network because it created it, and things can hurt and damage each other within there. It scales above that, meaning that it can regenerate on an infinite, not on a informational level, if not possibly higher or like
Probably
lower.
higher.
And this is very important because let's say you could argue like Hulk could interact with True Form Ultima, however you want to argue that. He has no way to get past his insanely good regeneration at all.
Yeah.
Uh, it's literally the situation that Kyle found himself up against with Simone. Literally the exact same thing. But instead of having a lovely wife give him the ability, it's him making a fucking communications network. Because fuck you.
It also can just how he has pretty cracked plot manipulation, able to dictate entire episodes. It also has fate manipulation, able to basically decide whatever its will wants. It really only loses because it chooses to. It can see into multiple different timelines, into future, past, present, actively, and it's in character for it to actively choose the outcome that it wants. Usually, the one where it wins. It can destroy context. It can destroy human will. It's ridiculously overpowered, and this is again not even everything it can do.
Again, the way they had to beat it canonically, and this wasn't them killing it. This wasn't them like, oh, it is gone. It will never return. It is dead. This is just like they BFR the Avatar, as they removed the Avatar from that universe, which doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But in order to do that, they had to literally plot manipulate. God, it is a character who has defeated its own defeat. That's literally the first line in the book. And how do you defeat that character? You write him to lose. They had to connect it to which cannot be defeated to a plot line or an episode in which it was defeated.
That happened.
And that's how they beat him temporarily.
And even then, it only kind of let that happen
because it gets bored sometimes.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
CTZ,
I think
CTZ
it can
laser.
Control probability. Yeah, CTC. Oh, also a quick little thing. Just Ultima, just existing, already breaks down fundamental laws of the universe, just like by walking around, which is crazy.
Godzilla's also a singular point too. We should probably mention that.
Yes.
The Avatar itself, it can resurrect itself if it dies. It can manipulate its own blood.
It uses singular points to. Yeah, it actively uses singular points to boost its own power. It can also kind of adapt and evolve, similar to what Shin can do, which is really crazy. Let's see. I think that's the last thing. I mean, we haven't. There's
a lot of shit on.
We could talk about the red dust. In a mobile game, yeah, we brought it earlier, but in a mobile game, the red dust.
Weaken durability. So
I guess the biggest thing, CTC laser.
Yes, essentially what this does is Godzilla. It's not even radiation. It's not even an atomic breath. He gathers energy from 1 day into the future, 2 days, 3 days. He stacks energy from the future on top of itself, fires it at you, and it cuts through space, time, and causality to hit you. And since we're compositing here, this beam can get spiral rayed, shot out basically every orifice on his body, infinitely spiraled.
Rage powered amps. Probably combining it with other
energy,
abilities. He can
other
be a Vargu with it
energy,
if he wants to.
other energy types. Uh,
He can literally shoot it out of his entire body. Yeah, I guess, yeah, he can. Like, just hell.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. We can see. He can literally just carve out his own future because
I'm pretty sure, can't he? I'm pretty sure his claws, he can just slice through time
no,
and
yeah,
space
he
itself pretty
can.
casually. And doesn't the CTC laser also like attack all dimensions? Like they're similar to the probability missiles.
I'm
that
pretty sure. I need to double check that.
If it is, if it is, we'll pull up a scan. If not, this won't even be in the video. But yeah, all this to say that this is, yes, absolutely the strongest Godzilla so far, and we still haven't even touched upon its most powerful ability, because somehow it gets stronger. Its avatar is basically every other Godzilla. And we'll pull up a scan right now. We've talked to the author. Basically,
Not the author, but a very reliable source. You follow her on Twitter. She's not directly involved with Singular Point, but she has attended sermons that the author has.
The author did go
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
So if you're going to take like any like
she was in the room when she heard.
yeah, like so it's from any like any fan interpretation. She's the most valid. So yeah, go talk to her. She's cool. She answered a lot of my questions.
Essentially, it can use or call upon other avatars, or pretty much any avatar. At bare minimum, just 1954, but tons of other ones.
But like 54 is connected to everything anyway, so that would link it to every other Godzilla.
Pretty much every other Godzilla, with like I guess the exception of like a handful.
I guess like the American one
that were created by the bomb. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple Godzilla ones that predate it, but like there's very few. So basically, every Godzilla that is like has the origin of 54 or even something similar, but definitely explicitly 54, would be connected to it. So it is just canonical comp Godzilla, which is why we say it is the strongest Godzilla. Ultima is the strongest Godzilla. The red dust is no joke. This thing is busted. It destroys math.
It does.
We forgot to mention that too. But yeah, I mean, I think that we've covered the bulk of them.
Very sparking notes, both of them.
Yeah, very sparking. We did not talk about everything. We didn't even touch the DC or Marvel. We didn't even touch upon like the Marvel semantics are crazy.
We didn't even bring up Galaxy Odyssey, who has that insane fucking statement of like.
Yeah, Galaxy Odyssey exists beyond our imagination. So we'll pull up the meme right now. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Godzilla has so much content, and he has so many appearances throughout the years that the amount of material and research that we'd have to do to make a Godzilla, it would take a long time. It would have to come out after that.
Oh, it will. I mean, the episode's coming out like
100%
as of recording this, like
in a couple weeks,
like 2 weeks from now. So
yeah, it wouldn't. We would.
If anything, give me like 2 years on the Godzilla video, guys. I got other things I want to work on for the channel. But
yeah, we should probably talk about our predictions.
Yeah, predictions for the animation. As mentioned earlier, this took us so long to a preview before it came out, and it looks good. I'm actually really surprised with how well it looks. Since it's a -1 model, the only form I can really say I'm confident in showing up is like that Godzilla dying and like Ultima showing up. Because I don't think they can do burning. I would personally rather have like a burning as like the base, not burn, but like a Heisei as a base, so you could do Bernie in the animation. Granted, a custom made Bernie -1 would look cool, but I just think it looked kind of weird.
Me too. I mean, I don't know. They could do a lot with it. They could maybe like switch, like the models mid-fight. That would be kind of cool. I kind of doubt it though. I would love to see this Godzilla like shooting different atomic
I would
breaths
love to
out of
see like out of his
its
tail, like the mouth shooting like the CTC laser, and the tail shooting like a spiral ray.
like a spiral
That'd
ray
be
or
like
something.
really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we want Godzilla to win. Not gonna be too upset if he loses. Also, remember, Godzilla fans, we have the best win con, best alternative. Even if Godzilla loses, he's gonna win in canon. Remember, the Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe is the canon 616 timeline, and that Godzilla is the same as the 70s run. And I'm just gonna nip this in the bud now. There is a very common misconception that in every Godzilla crossover there is basically a no lose contract. That is false.
There is no contract. That is not real. That is
there are
complete like
rules, but it's
misinformation.
essentially just like he can't die. He can lose a fight. Hell, very recently in the Thor comic, he lost a fight against Thor pretty blatantly.
Like verbatim.
Like he lost that fight. Go read the Thor comic, by the way. It's really good.
Like, it's really, really good. I mean, granted, he does, you know, basically beat Thor, and then like they fight again, and then they both like kill each other. But still,
but
like,
also
he's allowed to die.
They didn't kill each other because it was fucking GMK, and he survived as a heart. Because of course he did.
Because he always does that.
He always comes back. GMK's just William Afton.
But yeah, the contract is not real. That has never been a thing. I think it started out as like
it's an inside joke. It's been an inside joke with me and you for a while, but like it's not a real thing.
Because like it just feels like it is because of his win ratio.
They just like writing him strong. It makes sense. They're paying to use the character. Why pay to use the character and not have him clean house?
Yeah. So yes, obviously he's done all the crazy stuff in Marvel, killing a Celestial, no different than modern 616 Thor. He's probably gonna fight Galactus. The author hinted at him fighting higher tier dimensional things like the Living Tribunal. You can go look up the Reddit AMA. Maybe we'll use a scan here. I mean, this video is already long enough.
We should also link the Godzilla Ultima blog. That's really good. We should probably mention that.
Yes, we've used it. Yeah, it's really great. We barely kind of covered Ultima, to be honest.
Because there's just a lot.
Not to be mean, in Ultima is a lot, but also Ultima is not the only win con.
Right.
I think it's kind of
and that's why we spent the majority of the time just talking about other Godzillas, because they bring a lot of stuff to the table.
Don't get us wrong. Ultima is still again the trump card. It is,
but he's not the only thing.
But it's not his only one.
I would still argue,
and people kind of
if you remove Ultima from the equation, Godzilla still has a pretty good chance, thanks to burning with hell stats.
I mean, even just Rage Across Time, yeah, like there's so many. He's able to evolve. Like
he's got a lot of shit.
Memory erase you. He's got so much stuff. Oh, by the way, people who might think that Hulk can like actively just absorb higher dimensional energy beings, or like he can just absorb Rage Across Time or whatever, or he can absorb like Ultima. Okay, why didn't he do it against Onslaught?
Boom.
Like
checkmate.
Like he did. He fought Onslaught. He cracked the armor. Like that's really cool. I like that fight. It's really awesome. He fights him, and then everyone has to do it, not just Hulk. And you can say, well, Hulk was the final one. Nuh-uh, no. And literally in the story, they're saying we need enough mass to contain Onslaught's pure energy form. So they were just the last two people that were like involved. They were just the last two people that got there the latest, and then everything went wrong. So he did not absorb it all. He just they all dissipated him. And Onslaught's pure is like true form is like a a being of pure psychic energy. This rate across time is, I guess, somewhat similar. He's a being of energy, but like, yeah, and that's just again one avatar,
Right.
and that's just one thing that he might be able to absorb, and I really don't think he
Another
can.
problem with Hulk
But
when
yeah,
it comes to this fight is he doesn't have infinite stamina. He's going to get tired eventually.
no, or resistances. Godzilla has like immunities, and he has way better resistances
A lot of like Hulk's
and
crazier
way more
shit,
consistent ones.
like Godzilla Kaiju's are so fucking wacky and weird. A lot of his like subatomic destruction, Hulk survived that like once, so he has like a resistance to it. But
Godzilla's
Godzilla
done it like
survives
a
it
dozen
multiple times
times,
because he fights King Ghidorah, who destroys fucking gravity.
and Destroyer and himself.
He can also just
And just
he got a lot.
and absolute zero cannons. He's got a lot of stuff. I think the last thing we would talk about before we end the video is the stat spread. So a lot of people have predicted the stat spread will pull up the one that we're gonna use. I mean, we agree with it. We basically think that Hulk is gonna take stats, even though we disagree with that. I mean, like us two on this channel, we disagree personally. We think that
Overall,
the death battle,
he should
it
take
makes sense for them to
stats.
give. Yeah, Hulk's gonna get stats, which is fine. But as for abilities, hacks, immortality, absorption,
Experience is really mean.
experience.
Ultima literally fought infinite.
Yeah, experience is mean.
Ultima gives him literally infinite amount of opponents he has fought. You can't really beat that.
And even if you don't want to say like he has that experience, he can see into the future. So
he's
even
literally input reading. He's gonna input read everything.
Yeah, he's input reading. He knows everything that Hulk's gonna do before he does it. It's not really.
He's
fair.
also smarter
It's
than
not
him
fair.
because supercomputer brain.
Yes, he is smarter than him somehow.
He also has 2 brains.
Yeah,
He got 2 brains. Don't forget about that.
At least.
Okay, should we
ridiculous.
bring up the big
Godzilla's-
Toba in the room and why we shouldn't include it in this matchup?
Sure. So a lot of people like bringing up Toba, Hulk, and like look it. I've read Immortal Hulk. I've read the new Fractured Sun stuff. By the way, both runs really cool.
Good.
I wish Marvel appreciated Hulk more. He's a cool character. Love the writing. However, I think a lot of power scalers on TikTok or YouTube really think that Toba Hulk is a Hulk. No, he's not a personality. He never was. Even Death Battle doesn't think this. They don't bring him up. Toba Hulk is the one below all. The one below all is literally a different, separate character. If you read the story, the chapter where this happens, the one below all literally verbatim says it. Like, he's like, I am the one below all. My weapon is hate. Like, he's verbatim telling you that. He's just Hulk. That is no longer there. There's no Hulk personality. There's no Banner personality. It's literally just the one below all using Hulk's body.
It's him possessing his body.
Using him to destroy the universe. And it took him... Yeah, and it took him forever. But it's like a Sukuna feat. You know what I mean? Like, the Sukuna doing something is not the same thing as, like, Yuji.
Also, it's not even like a Yuji Sukuna connection type thing. It's like... Yeah, this is so stupid, but it's like arguing Gumball should get Carrie. Like have Carrie possess Gumball mid-fight. That's like the dumbass equivalent I could think of at like 2 a.m.
But yeah, it's not him. I'm not an expert obviously on one below all or one above all. I do know that they're basically one and the same, and they're like inverses of each other. I don't know every feat that he's done. But from what I can see, at least in these in the Mortal Hulk run, he's pretty much featless. He's another statement warrior kinda, which is fine.
We take statements when we can.
But there is that I guess his best feat is like upscaling everything in Marvel, which is cool, but again, completely separate character. And by the end of the run, Hulk makes peace with himself. The one below all is no longer a part of him. He doesn't call upon him, at least to my knowledge. You can correct us if we're wrong, but in the Fractured Sun story, in the most recent Hulk stuff, he's not calling upon the one below all. He's fighting really powerful beings, the Mother of Horrors, who's like, hiding from him, which is noteworthy. I mean, I don't think it's it shows how strong she is, but she was able to hide from the one above all, which is pretty impressive. So he's able to, and he's breaking like the change of the firmament, I think is what they call him. Really, really powerful change, held back Galactus, all that sort of stuff. Like I know he's a really powerful
Held back
character.
the Eternity. They held
The
back
one below
Eternity,
all
not
is a
Galactus.
completely different character. That's not Hulk.
Right.
That's never been Hulk, and I don't think it'll ever be Hulk.
And it shouldn't be counted. And people like to argue like, oh, you're giving Godzilla Ultima and shit. But within Singular Point, it and Godzilla are very explicitly the same character, and that's preferred.
The entire point of the light novel.
Its preferred avatar is Godzilla.
Yeah. There is no it without Godzilla, essentially.
Right.
Like,
and there's no
very much a Hulk without a Toba.
Right. Because they're very, and also as a power scaler, I'm gonna go against the grain of what like people think as power scalers. I actually give a shit about the characterization of my characters, and giving Hulk Toba literally goes against his entire character in the Immortal Hulk run.
Yeah.
Which I really like that storyline, and I find it really annoying when people just ignore it to argue him winning.
Yeah, he's a wonderfully written character, and giving him the absolute literal worst character, the villain, like the equivalent of like the devil and his like abusive dad, and saying, oh, also that's Hulk, like the worst parts of his childhood, and saying that's Hulk too is just kind of so icky in my opinion.
It is, and
also just completely false.
Now that being said, if Death Battle does give him Toba, then I'm just gonna this is the most pity win ever.
Yeah, agreed. It's the blatantly outside help because it's a completely different character.
All right.
But
I think
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to plug at the end here?
I have a YouTube channel that I don't use, but there's a YouTuber that I like. His name's Canon. We'll link him in the description. Shout out to him. He's a great dude who makes YouTube videos about gaming, primarily gaming, but a couple other things like anime and stuff like that too. Watch him. He's really cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I mean, maybe I'll use my channel one day, but that's
I don't really have much. Shout out Chazington, I guess. Big inspiration for how I edit, as you could probably tell.
Shout out to you guys for watching.
Shout out to you. This is gonna be like an hour long, probably.
Really long.
And this isn't even really that much of a fucking prediction. It's just two dumbasses yapping about Godzilla.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. My next video is gonna be Vanny versus the Distoris Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth. Because I made a fucking letterbox review, and I called the Distoris Rex the Vanny of the Jurassic Park franchise, and I just kind of rolled with it. So stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah, follow his Letterboxd.
I'm gonna keep that hidden. People are gonna have to search for my letterbox. It's gonna be like the ARG.
Y'all gotta be looking out for this because we got a lot. That channel's gonna get pretty active. We got Indom versus King Kong. We got Creepypasta versus Analog Horror. We got Vanny versus D-Rex. We're gonna making the channel pretty active soon. Obviously, Compzilla episode's gonna come out soon. But.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut you off there.